right, so we are back with Lisa Waters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are local gardeners asking, talking about, looking for? And so Lisa comes to share that, and then we can impart. You can learn something by hanging out with other gardeners in your neighborhood. And so we're helping to share that. So welcome back to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you.
You doing
Good to be
okay this
back.
week?
I'm hanging in there.
That's all you can do. So hanging in there. So yep, I left my radio on. Dang it. That's just my bad. I don't think the audience heard it though. So I think we're okay.
They didn't notice
We
a
just
thing.
announced it. Live here at Waters Garden Center. Literally live. So anyway, where's it even going? There's we got your father's service going. We're just trying to help you. Thank you everyone
Oh my goodness.
for the
yes.
sentiments. It is heartfelt. We have the services Thursday. A celebration of life. Harold was a big man that lived in his community. It made a difference, and it's going to be a community celebration. So, just thank you for those that have come in and just supported the family. I mean, everyone. I mean, it's heartfelt. So, thank you for that. It is a community event. You're Thursday at 11 o'clock. You're welcome to join us, or send a card or whatever. It'll be at Christian Fellowship Church over on
Solid
Rock Christian Fellowship Church. I don't even think they use the word church in there. It used to be First Baptist Church of.
It used to be First Baptist.
So anyway.
Anyways, if I could say, I have loved reading the notes and the condolences and just people talking about, oh, I moved here in the early 80s and Harold helped me. And it is a true testament of he really did love this community. He loved helping people garden here.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
You're welcome. So anyway, I'll cover while you get yourself together. We'll go into garden stuff. So whenever we feel bad or we get down, I go out to the garden center. I talk gardening to gardeners, and it lifts me back up to be there in the plants. I was interviewing, had an interview with the Courier this week. They're getting ready for their home insert for the Home and Garden Show. Can't wait. It's coming back. The Home and Garden Show is going to be back in Yavapai County.
Wonderful.
And they were asking, why do people garden? This was about edibles. And can you save money by gardening? Well, yeah, you can grow a tomato. You can grow lettuce, very inexpensive. Herbs, so easy to grow. Mm-hmm. You can grow these things, and yes, you can save $1, but gardening isn't about pinching pennies. Gardening is way deeper than that. It's fresh air and birds and butterflies, and it's a spiritual thing. It gets your hands back in the dirt. It makes you feel better, or just it's kind of fun to watch the offices. They're starting to get out now, and so they'll come through. You'll see a couple gals or some folks walking through, going, "Up, we're just on our lunch break. Not here to just therapy session." That's what plants do for you. They give you it's a living, breathing thing that needs you to care for them, and then they reward you with flowers and fruits and vegetables. It's powerful stuff. So, and then gardeners, I mean, anyone that puts on those funky gloves and a great big old hat, they've got to be great. I mean, they got to be really cool. You got to have some confidence to pull that off. So gardeners are just fun people. We get to see those folks here at Waters Garden Center.
I agree.
What are some of the questions so we don't spiral down out of control?
Well, it's too late. It's just too late. Well, Gary and Chino would like to know. Last year, he put in several fruit trees. So they're going into their second season. And he's curious about what type of watering schedule you would recommend. And also wants to know if now is the time to be fertilizing those.
So fruit trees. This is not just for Chino Valley. This is the entire Central Highlands area. This is from Camp Verde, Cotton, Sedona. You folks tuned in there to Jerome, to up over the Dewey, Humboldt, Prescott Valley, all the way up to Paulden. I mean, it's all the way down to Hillside, Kirkland, Skull Valley. It's us. March is your best time by far to fertilize for the spring. The plants, and then as soon as they start to bloom or leaf out, you should start thinking watering, because now they're starting to use moisture. Mm-hmm. There's enough in the ground to keep them going for a week or two, but really you should start activating those irrigation systems by April 1, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. There could still be some frost, but if you're seeing frost on fruit trees, a hydrated fruit tree will go through that frost cycle much stronger. You'll have your fruit last, your blossoms will stay. better than a dry plant. So that'll be critical. Sometimes fruit trees can get tricked into blooming early, and then we get that one last frost. We seem to have this one last event in April. So you might have some frost cover, a blanket, something to just handy to keep it from the frost from lighting on top of those flowers, the fruits. And it's really for those apricots, nectarines, early blooming plums, maybe cherries. Usually apples and pears, they bloom towards the end of April, so they're a little bit out of the fray. So just be ready. But going back to Gary's point, in Chino Valley, Gary, start watering about once a week, deep watering, starting about April. And then fertilize immediately. And so we make a fruit tree food here. It's got 6-4-4-7. So it's a really balanced for edible things. So tomatoes, cucumbers. I grow giant pumpkins, all the fruit trees, grapes, berries. They're going to benefit from our fruit and vegetable food because we've loaded it with 7% calcium. Very unusual fertilizer to see that much calcium, but we have calcium deficiencies here. And it's because of our alkalinity of our water and our soil that happens. And so you get blossom end rot. Zucchinis will drop their fruits. The flavor will be a little off or thick skinned. But calcium brings out the flavor and the color and the size of fruits, especially with your pitted fruits. So I would say to use the fruit and vegetable food. It's organic. Spread it out there. Just chuck it on. Pray for more snow. Be perfect for
how about
for
rain?
Your gardens. Oh, rain.
I'd rather have rain.
I am tired of snow, aren't you? I'm tired of the cold.
I just want a nice warm rain. That's all I want.
That'd be awesome.
Cold. Well, okay. Josh has a question. He had some smaller pinyon pines in his yard. He was out there looking at them and noticed that the needles closer to the trunk were browning out and had black spots on them.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
Wants to know, hey, what is that? And should it be treated?
This is dangerous. So we are seeing the first wave of pinyon pine scale starting to show up. And those are the indications. You'll also see we're seeing some egg laying right now. So they've hatched. So scale will get on the needles and they leave little black dots. And I think that's what he's describing. Well, when they hatch, when they're going to lay eggs, the adults going, okay, I'm tired of hanging out with this scale over me. They come out to make whoopee down to the bottom of the tree or the main crotches. There's certain areas where they kind of congregate and lay these big cottony egg sacks. It's a funky looking thing. You'll be going, whoa, that's weird. What is that? It's dangerous. Get rid of it. What to do? They can kill a pinyon pine. They've wiped out, obliterated entire neighborhoods. Not a pinyon pine is left without treating. So first thing you can do is fertilize. I would say fertilize your native trees. It is important, especially the pinyon pines and the ponderosas. They're going to benefit. Aphids are on the ponderosas, scale are on the pinyon pines. It'll benefit them. Makes them stronger, more buffs, just bigger muscles. But then for that particular pinyon pine scale, we make a product called Plant Protector. It's a liquid. You can administer. You do not need to be an arborist by any means. You just need a watering can in this bottle. But what you do is you measure around the trunk, the circumference, just whatever. Okay, it's 12 inches around. You put 12 ounces of this product in your watering can, top it off with water, and you pour it right at the trunk, right where the trunk meets the ground, that crown area. Right there where the trunk meets that soil, you pour it around that, and the plant will actually absorb this plant protector. It goes up through the sap, through the cambium layer, through that tree, and then it taints the sap so that when they pierce that needle and suck the juice out, try to kill it, they get some of this. It's kind of like an antibiotic for trees. Let's think of it that way. Highly effective. One application lasts for a year. Great stuff. So Plant Protector and fertilize. Come see us for more because the whole neighborhood, everyone's coming in for this stuff right now. Ken and Lisa Lain, right back after this. Don't go anywhere.